Grammar. In this video, we're going to have a look at the simple present tense. First, the structure of the simple present. With I, you, we, and they, you just use the infinitive. For example, I live, you live, we live, they live. For he, she, and it, you use the infinitive plus s. He lives, she lives, it lives. When do you use a simple present? You use a simple present when you talk about facts or repeated actions and habits. Let's look at some facts. Mr. Miller works at Bush. That's a fact. Mr. Miller is he, so you add an s to the verb work. Mr. Miller works at Bush. Babies cry. That's a fact. All babies cry. They cry. So cry, you just use the infinitive. The same with birds fly. All birds fly. It's a fact. So let's look at an example. This is Jack. This is California. The fact is, Jack lives in California. Jack is he, so you add an s to live. Lives. He works at Silicon Valley. This is Silicon Valley. His wife's name is Jill. She's a software developer. She works part-time. Jack and Jill have 3 children. Jack and Jill is they, so you only use the infinitive, have. Oh, and a dog. Repeated actions. Let's have a look. Jack works every day. Every day is repeated. Babies cry when they are hungry. Birds fly south in the winter. Every winter is repeated. Let's look at an example. Every summer they go on holiday. It's repeated every summer. Jill picks the kids up every day at 1 p.m. Every day at 1 p.m. Jack goes to the gym every Thursday. Every Thursday. When you talk about the simple present, you can talk about things that you do 100% of the time, always. Or you can talk about things that you never do, 0% of the time. These are called keywords. We have seldom, maybe about 10%, sometimes, often, usually. Let's go through the keywords again. Never, seldom, sometimes, often, usually, always. Some examples. Jack usually gets up at 7 a.m. He always has lunch in the canteen. He always has lunch in the canteen. He often calls his wife during his lunch break. He often calls his wife during his lunch break. Jill sometimes bakes a cake at the weekend. All right, so here's a little summary of the simple present tense. The structure. With I, you, we, they, you use the infinitive. I live, you live, we live, they live. With he, she, and it, you use the infinitive plus s. He lives, she lives, it lives. You use the simple present tense when you talk about facts, habits, and repeated actions. For example, he works at Silicon Valley. That's a fact. He usually gets up at 7 a.m. That's a repeated action. And some keywords in the simple present tense are never, seldom, sometimes, often, usually, or always. All right, that was a simple present tense.